Yo, what is going on, you guys? So today I'm bringing guys a brand new sports cards video. In today's video, I'm going to be breaking down the 5 best sports card investments I believe you can make under $10 right now. I've been requested this video a lot. You guys always love this video on the channel, so we did a lot of analysis for this video. So it means a lot if you guys could go ahead and show some support. And I did want to give a quick mention to our membership program. A lot of our members have been doing really well. As you guys know, our biggest investment over the last 5 years has been Shea Gilgeous-Alexander. And a lot of our members have been able to turn 4 figures into 6 figures, 5 figures into 7 figures. A lot of our members over the last 5 years have been doing extremely well with our membership program. So if you would like to join, the link is down below. We are open back up for new members. So head to sportscardsinvest.com. If you are interested in checking out our membership program. But without further ado, we're going to hop right into the video. All right, guys. So as you guys know, we are currently heading into the NBA playoffs very soon. As I'm recording this video, it's March 9th. We got a lot of players heating up for the NBA playoffs. And that is one of the key places where if I was looking to make quick money, I would put my head towards, because there are a lot of players that I've talked about a lot, even to my members for the last couple of years. I've been really stressing those players who have a very non-existent regular season market. One of those guys that comes to mind is Jimmy Butler. Jimmy Butler during the regular season, especially these last couple seasons, has not really been in the spotlight. Of course, he did get traded this year, so you had a lot of demand that came in when he joined the Warriors. But overall, his market always sits super low during the regular season. And it's during the playoffs where he turns into a superstar a lot of the years. He led the Miami Heat to the finals not too long ago. Now he's playing alongside Steph Curry and a hungry Warriors team that has looked really good since he has arrived so far. I believe as I'm recording this video, they're 11-1 with Jimmy Butler. So there's just a lot of upside, I believe, here, and a very limited amount of downside given how low his prices are. People don't really buy into Jimmy Butler's market during the regular season. He's not a young player who has, a potential to be the next, this, that, and the other. He's more so a player who shows up during the playoffs and has a lot of hype when he has, those increases in his game and increases in his numbers during the playoffs and turns into the star, that he kind of saves himself for in the playoffs. So I think it's a great opportunity to kind of get into guys like Jimmy Butler before the playoffs, because you can get in at some prices, that haven't really seen any demand over the last couple of years. And so you're seeing a lot of these cards super suppressed in price. And the other great thing is, 2012 Prism and Select and Hoops and whatever card you would invest in from 2012. I guess under $10 would probably be Hoops. But the point is that it's very low pop from that year. So there's not much supply at all. So anytime an increase in Jimmy Butler's demand comes to his market, his prices rise really fast because there's just not much supply that kind of hits the market, because 2012 was a year that was pretty short printed. So I think it's very smart to get in before that demand comes in, and it's a good bet to place. If they don't do anything, I don't think his prices are going to go down from here much. They're already super, super low compared to any other star in this league. But if he does have another postseason that the Warriors make some noise, win a round, win 2 rounds, make the finals, who knows what could happen. Regardless of what happens, I think you're positioned pretty well being in Jimmy Butler's market. So I think if you could get a lot of his, if you can get a Prism PSA 8 of his for that $15 price point, I think you're set up to do really well. Just given the low pop, him elevating as a player during the playoffs, the FOMO that could be coming in. The Warriors have a very strong fan base. So I just think overall he's a really good play before the playoffs. Another guy who kind of fits into that mold for me that I think a lot of people just kind of overlook is Jamal Murray. He's not a superstar type player, but he does elevate during the playoffs. The Nuggets are a threat, and Jamal Murray tends to have those here and there 40-point games, 50-point games during the playoffs. Another thing I really love is he's 2016 draft class. So once again, not much population on a lot of his key rookie cards. You don't really see them around much. So when there is demand in his market, like we saw when they won the finals, prices can just soar to the moon because you don't have much supply hitting the market. And his prices are so suppressed right now. Like, this is a card that I think fairly low pop, Optic PSA 10 from 2016. This could be a card I could see being $100 if they make a finals run. And the market's non-existent during the regular season. I've been doing this, and our members have been suggested to be doing this for the last couple of years. A lot of the players we've suggested are guys who, you can buy up these players for a couple bucks during the regular season. And a lot of them have, Jamal Murray's going to have those big playoff games. The Nuggets maybe will make a big run. Who knows? But the thing is, you're buying in so cheap that you're really covered on your downside. Like, a card like this that's $4 for an Optic rookie card of Jamal Murray, I don't see this card going below, $2-3. What's the downside? But I could see the card going to $20 if they make the finals, right? So that's kind of how it works. It's like when there's 4 teams left and all the market's focused on those superstars on those 4 teams, that is when you start to see demand for guys like Jamal Murray and Jimmy Butler. And when that happens, you see massive price increases. But before that, you could buy a high-end rookie card of Jamal Murray and a PSA 9 for $10 for an Optic Holo from 2016, first-year Optic. This is a pretty solid card that has great upside. And the market's just not there during the regular season. So it's a good time to be buying when all eyes are away and selling when eyes come back to them. It's always looking where people aren't looking but could be looking in the future. And then when people are looking in the future, that's when you can see your price increases. Now, next up, we're going to be talking about a little bit more longer term plays. I think a lot of these guys who have had a little bit rough years, who may be missing the playoffs, guys like Devin Booker, Kevin Durant, LaMelo Ball, guys who are going to see a big decrease in price this offseason because they haven't made the playoffs, those are great opportunities for the longer term. A lot of guys, I think, that could have that great upside, that could have a great year next year, that could potentially get traded. One of those guys who comes to mind is LaMelo Ball. LaMelo Ball could get traded. LaMelo Ball is a player whose prices are going to go down a lot over the next month or two. After the season ends, I think you're going to have a decline in LaMelo's prices and a great time to scoop up some of his important rookie cards for super cheap compared to where they were even earlier this year when he was balling out. So I see great opportunities in guys who are seeing that sell-off. I would not personally buy in right this moment. I would wait. I think there's still some downside to be had over the next couple months as everyone focuses towards the playoff players. But these are guys who I'm looking at and I'm like, if some of these auctions end a lot lower than they were before, and you start to see those big 30-40% declines, I'm a buyer there. And I think there is good upside. There's some cards that you can get that are fairly low pop that you can get around that $10 price point. LaMelo's a flashy player, a guy who I believe the hobby loves, who's super popular in general, and a player who I think his name will be in the spotlight this offseason. I think there'll be a lot of trade rumors. I think the Hornets could be looking to move on from him. They haven't seen much success at all, even though he's put up great numbers. And I think he could fit well with, a different team. I'll put it that way. I wouldn't say it's hard to predict where he'll go, but I think it can't get much worse than the Charlotte Hornets fan base in terms, not to throw any shots, but in terms of, how big the fan base is and how many people are buying into his cards for being a fan favorite. I think if he's on a team with a bigger market, I should say, I think his cards could go up a lot. So guys who fit into that mold, I'm really looking to buy the dip on. Even guys like Brandon Miller, I think he's got a solid future. He's going to have a lot of people looking at his cards, this offseason, later towards probably next season, closer to next season. But I think his prices will be going down until then. So I think it could be a good time to scoop up some of his important cards for great discounts while his market is down. So those are some guys I'm looking for. I think guys who either are sneaky right now and are going to make a playoff run, or guys who aren't making the playoffs or who get knocked out early and see a big price decline. Those are kind of 2 categories that I'm targeting right now. So I hope you guys did enjoy this video. If you enjoyed, make sure to drop a like and subscribe Once again, the link to our website's below. So if you would like to become a member, you can click the link down below. But thank you guys so much for all the support. We are on our road to 50,000 subscribers. So I really appreciate all the support. And I hope to continue to bang out these videos for you guys. Other than that, I'm out. Peace.